Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, the 8th of June, 2024. It's a long weekend, the King's birthday long weekend here in Melbourne. Over the past few days, I've done a couple of different videos about the cost of living between Australia and Southeast Asia. And I did a video a few days ago about the cost of living between Melbourne and Pattaya. And that had a lot of feedback. A lot of people commented, most of them positive. Some people pointed out a few negatives. But anyway, really good engagement from viewers. So thank you very much if you put something in the comments, if you had an experience. I want to do a new one today about the cost of living difference between Pattaya, Thailand and Da Nang. I've been watching a lot of videos on Da Nang in Vietnam. Someone from the last video commented that they'd been living in Nha Trang in Vietnam for 17 years and said he loved it, but he suggested Nha Trang was a better destination than Da Nang. So that's the type of feedback that I really appreciate and encourage. So if you're over there or if you've had experience living there for an amount of time, I'd really encourage you to put your feedback on the comments below so that everyone can see it and then they can put in their 2 cents worth. So thanks very much. So today, as I said, I want to go through and do a cost of living comparison between Da Nang in Vietnam and Pattaya in Thailand. And I was very surprised by these results because initially I thought that they should be pretty similar. But if you watch the video, you'll see what happens. So remember, put your comments down below if you can. Really appreciate your involvement. And hope you enjoy this video. So this is the cost of living comparison between Pattaya in Thailand and Da Nang in Vietnam. So initially I thought that these two countries were pretty similar with their pricing, but after looking at this from the Numbeo website, there is a fair bit of difference. You can see up the top here it says cost of living in Da Nang is 19.1% lower than in Pattaya without rent, and including the rent it's 20.9% lower, the cost of living in Da Nang in Vietnam compared with Pattaya in Thailand. Rent prices in Da Nang are 26.9% lower than in Pattaya, which again, I was very surprised about that. Restaurants, groceries here, 23.2% lower in Da Nang. But I want to go through and highlight a few of the points down here. You can see here meal inexpensive, and also, sorry, I converted this to Australian dollars. You can see here the currency is in Australian. So it says you would need 2,964 Australian dollars in Da Nang to maintain the same standard of life that you have with 3,700 Australian dollars in Pattaya, assuming the rent in both cities is the same there. All right, so you can go down here. Meal, an expensive restaurant in Pattaya, $4.12 for a meal. In Da Nang, it's only $2.36 Australian, which is cheap. So it's 42% less. 42% less in Da Nang. And it says meal for two, mid-range restaurant, 3 courses in Pattaya, $41. In Da Nang, $45. So that's more expensive. McMeal at McDonald's, which is McDonald's have their global indicator for the price of different McDonald's things all around the world. So in Pattaya, a McMeal at McDonald's is $11.32 Australian, and in Da Nang it's only $5.90. So it's 47.9 or 48% cheaper in Da Nang than it is in Pattaya, which is a massive difference. Domestic beer, $3.29 Australian in Pattaya, $1.77 in Da Nang, so minus 46%. Another big one. Imported beer, you can see $3.40 in Pattaya, $2.36 in Da Nang, Thailand, 30% less. And it goes on down. You can read them all here. If you want to pause the video, you can have a look yourself. Cappuccino, $2.88 in Pattaya, $2.48 in Da Nang, so it's 13.9. And apparently Da Nang's got a very big coffee scene, which I'd be pretty happy with. I love my coffee. Water is very similar, 50 cents in Pattaya to 49% in Da Nang, 49 cents, sorry. Milk is about the same. A loaf of white bread, I was surprised about this one, $1.91 Australian in Pattaya, only $1.18 in Da Nang, so 38% cheaper in Da Nang than in Thailand. Rice, again, 32% cheaper here, which is a big difference. Eggs, 21% different. Local cheese, 20% different. Chicken fillets, so it's cheaper in Pattaya than it is in Da Nang. So it's plus 9.5% more expensive in Da Nang for chicken fillets. Beef, see here, $23.50 Australian in Pattaya, $17.05 in Da Nang, so 27% cheaper. Apples are more expensive in Da Nang. So there's a couple of things that are more expensive. Apples is one of them, 39.2% more expensive. Bananas, I thought bananas were cheap when I was in Thailand, in Pattaya, $1.88. And in Da Nang, they're only $1.33 for a kilo, that is. So that's 30% cheaper, which is really good, 29.2% cheaper. Oranges, 36% cheaper. Tomatoes, cheaper. Onions are more expensive. It's another thing. Onions, 31.8% more expensive in Da Nang. Lettuce, $2.26 for a head of lettuce there, it says. $2.26 Australian in Pattaya for one lettuce, and in Da Nang it's $1.14, so it's 49.8% cheaper in Da Nang. Water, bottle of water, not too big a difference there, a little bit cheaper in Da Nang again, 8.8%. Bottle of wine, when I was in Pattaya, Thailand, I did notice that wine was expensive. So you can see there, it is 52% cheaper in Da Nang than it is in Thailand or Pattaya. And as I said, I did notice that wine was expensive when I was there. Domestic beer, look at that, 46.8% cheaper in Da Nang. Imported beer, 16%. Cigarettes, so 70% cheaper in Da Nang. I don't smoke, so I don't care about that anyway. But so for a pack of 20, it's $5.97 Australian in Pattaya in Thailand. It's only $1.77 in Da Nang. Now I know, like in Australia, they're over $50 a packet. They're so expensive, and it's all taxed to the government. And in Melbourne now, we've got these big tobacco wars going on where the criminals are importing them from places like, I guess, Vietnam and these places, and selling them on the black market. So there's all these tobacco shops being burnt down. I think over the past 6 months or a year, there's been something like 80 arson attacks on tobacco shops and these people that sell the illegal cigarettes, the black market cigarettes. But there's a big war on at the moment in Melbourne, which is not good. So transportation here, it's a little bit more expensive in Da Nang, the public one-way ticket transportation. And that'll be because of the 10 baht bus in Pattaya. That's fantastic service. I went on that quite a few times when I was there early in the year. A monthly pass is minus 73% here in Da Nang. Big difference. Taxis, 20% cheaper or 18% normal. Taxi 1 kilometre, 47% cheaper in Da Nang. Again, I thought you probably couldn't get much cheaper than what they do in Pattaya, but there you go, 47% cheaper in Da Nang. So that's a big one. Gasoline, 17% cheaper in Vietnam compared with Thailand. The other day I filled up my car here in Australia and I paid $2.20 a litre. So it cost me $140 or something to fill up my car, which is just ridiculous. So the price of petrol here fluctuates between about $1.80 up to Yeah, 220, 230. It's out of control. All right, monthly utilities. So the basic electricity, heating, cooling, water, garbage collection for 85 square metre apartment. In Pattaya, it's $97.79 Australian, and in Da Nang, it's $85.78, so 12% cheaper. Mobile phone, this one's quite a big one. So mobile phone monthly plan, it's got here $19.27 in Pattaya and $8.43 in Da Nang. Now, I have seen online you can buy cell data plans, and I think you get 6 gigabytes a day for a month, and it's something like $6 US, so probably $10 Australian or something. But you can see here $56% cheaper, which is a big one. Internet 60 megs or more unlimited data, cable or ADSL, so your home internet connection $25 in Pattaya, $12.99 in Da Nang, so 48% cheaper. Another big one that I would definitely use if I was there. Fitness clubs 26% cheaper. Tennis court rental, so I know a fair bit about this because I do tennis coaching in Melbourne. So the cheapest you get a court around Melbourne now would be $25 plus, and in Pattaya you're paying $15.50, and in Da Nang it's $9.84. And cinema 48% cheaper, you can see here, than in Pattaya. So all these are big ones. Pair of jeans more expensive in Da Nang. Summer dress more expensive. Pair of Nike runners 36% cheaper. I think a lot of the runners are actually made in Vietnam. The good brand runners. Pair of men's leather shoes plus 130% in Da Nang. So in Thailand they're much cheaper. So you got your rent here per month, 1 bedroom in the city centre, paying $7.58 Australian for a month, and in Da Nang it's only $4.54, so 40% cheaper, which is a big saving. 1 bedroom outside the city centre, $4.27 Pattaya, $3.49 Da Nang, so 18% cheaper. You see here the 3 bedroom, 26% cheaper and 20% cheaper. To buy an apartment here, $3,429 per square metre in Pattaya and $2,833 per square metre in Da Nang, so 17.4% cheaper. And buy an apartment outside the city centre, you can see here 33% cheaper down here. Salaries and finance. So this is interesting here. So the average monthly net salary after tax is $626 in Pattaya and $661 in Da Nang. So they actually earn more money in Da Nang, 5.5% more money, which is very interesting because they earn more money, but the cost of living is actually cheaper. So yeah, I just wanted to run through all those figures with you. Hope you enjoyed that. This website is called Numbeo, numbeo.com. You can go in there and put in any 2 cities and it'll do a comparison. All these figures are actually entered by people that are either visited or living in those countries. So it's very useful information. It's not put in by the governments, which sometimes they can spin the figures so they're not too truthful. So I think this is more accurate anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've spent any time in either Pattaya or Da Nang, please leave your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you think any of these figures are wrong, but I think they're pretty accurate. I spent a month in Jomtien, which is right next to Pattaya. So I think from Pattaya's point of view, the figures are pretty accurate. There might be a couple of anomalies, but overall pretty accurate. All right, hope you enjoyed this. As I said, leave some comments and have a great day. Okay, bye.